Hello friends, the topic for today is Extreme Programming Process. Extreme Programming or XP is perhaps the best known and most widely used of the agile methods. In a XP process, customers are intimately involved in specifying and prioritizing system requirements. The requirements are not specified as a list of required system functions. Rather, the system customer is part of the development team and discusses scenarios with other team members. Together, they develop a story card that encapsulates the customer needs. The development team then aims to implement that scenario in the future release of the software. Agenda for today's video: introduction, XP process, planning activity and terms, design activity and terms, coding activity and terms, and testing activity and terms. Let us start with the introduction. Extreme Programming is an agile software development framework that aims to produce higher quality software and higher quality of life for the development team. The Extreme Programming model recommends taking the best practices that have worked well in the past in program development projects to extreme levels. Extreme Programming was conceived and developed to address the specific needs of software development by a small team in the face of vague and changing requirements. XP is lightweight, efficient, low risk, flexible, predictable, scientific, and fun way to develop a software. Then let us go to the XP process. Extreme Programming uses an object-oriented approach as its preferred development paradigm and encompasses a set of rules and practices that occur within the context of four framework activities. So it has four activities: planning, design, coding, and testing. Figure 1 illustrates the extreme programming process. Here, the four framework activities are shown with some of the key concepts. For example, planning has user stories, values, iteration plan, etc. Then design has CRC cards, spike solution, prototypes. Then coding has pair programming, continuous integration, and refactoring. Testing has unit tests and acceptance testing. After the first project release has been delivered, the XP team computes project velocity. First project release is also called as the software increment. Then let us go to the planning activity and terms. The planning activity is also called the planning game. The terms involved here are listening, user stories, value and cost, commitment, and project velocity. Let us go to the first term, that is listening. Planning game begins with listening. Listening is requirements gathering activity that enables the technical members of the XP team to understand the business context for the software and to get a broad feel for required output and major features and functionality. Then let us go to the user stories. Listening leads to creation of a set of stories, also called as the user stories, that describe required output, features, and functionality of the software to be built. Each story is written by the customer and is placed on the index card. So here basic scenarios, they are converted into the stories. Next, let us go to the value and cost. The customer assign a value, that is a priority to the story based on overall business value of the feature or the function. Members of the XP team then assesses each story and assigns a cost to it. Now here the cost is measured in development weeks. If the story is estimated to require more than 3 development weeks, the customer is asked to split the story into smaller stories and assignment of value and cost occurs again. It is important to note that new stories can be written at any time. So customers and developers work together to decide how to group stories into next release, that is the next software increment to be developed by the XP team. Then let us go to the next, commitment. Commitment is agreement on stories to be included, delivery date, and other project matters. Once a basic is made for a release, the XP team orders the stories that will be developed in one of the three ways. First, all stories will be implemented immediately within a few weeks. Then second, the stories with highest value will move up in the schedule and implemented first, or the riskiest stories will be moved up in the schedule and implemented first. So these are the three ways in which the stories will be implemented. Then let us go to the project velocity. Simply stated, project velocity is the number of customer stories implemented during the first release. The XP team computes project velocity after the first project release has been delivered. This is also called as the software increment. Project velocity can then be used to first help estimate delivery dates and schedule for subsequent release, and second, determine whether an over commitment has been made for all stories across the entire development project. If an overcommitment occurs, the content of release is modified and end delivery dates are changed. As development work proceeds, the customer can add stories, change the value of an existing story, split stories, or eliminate them. The XP team then reconsiders all remaining releases and modifies its plan accordingly. Then let us go to the design activity and terms. XP design rigorously follows the KISS principle, that is, keep it simple. A simple design is always preferred over a more complex representation. In addition, the design provides implementation guidance for a story as it is written, nothing less, nothing more. The design of extra functionality, because of the developer assumes it will be required later, is discussed. XP encourages the use of CRC cards as an effective mechanism for thinking about software in an object-oriented context. The terms used in design activity are CRC, that is class responsibility collaborator, then spike solution and refactoring. Then let us go to the CRC, that is class responsibility collaborator. CRC cards identify and organize the object-oriented classes that are relevant to the current software increment. The CRC cards are the only design work product produced as a part of XP process. Then let us go to the spike solution. It is an operational prototype of that portion of the design of a story in which a difficult design problem has been encountered. XP recommends immediate creation of spike solution. It is implemented and evaluated for design. Then let us go to the refactoring. Refactoring is a construction technique that is also a design technique. Refactoring is the process of changing a software system in such a way that it does not alter the external behavior of the code yet improves the internal structure. It is a disciplined way to clean up code that minimizes the chances of introducing bugs. It modifies and simplifies the internal design. In essence, when you refactor, you are improving the design of code after it has been written. A central notion in extreme programming is that design occurs both before and after coding commences. Refactoring means that design occurs continuously as the system is constructed. In fact, the construction activity itself will provide XP team with guidance on how to improve the team. Then let us go to the coding activity and terms. After stories are developed and preliminary design work is done, the team does not move to code, but rather develops a series of unit tests that will exercise each of the stories that is to be included in the current release, that is the software increment. Once the unit test has been created, the developer is better able to focus on what must be implemented to pass the test. Nothing extraneous, that is extra, is added. So again here we are following the principle, keep it simple. Once the code is complete, it can be unit tested immediately, thereby providing instantaneous feedback to the developers. A key concept during coding activity is pair programming and code integration. So let us go to the pair programming. XP recommends that two people work together at one computer workstation to create code for a story. This provides a mechanism for real-time problem solving. Two heads are often better than one, and real-time quality assurance. The code is reviewed as it is created. It also keeps developers focused on the problem at hand. In practice, each person takes on a slightly different role. For example, one person might think about coding details of a particular portion of the design, while other ensures that coding standards are being followed or that the code for the story will satisfy the unit test that has been developed to validate the code against the story. Then let us go to the code integration. As pair programmers complete their work, the code they develop is integrated with the work of others. In some cases, this is performed on daily basis by an integration team. On the other cases, the pair programmers have integration responsibility. This continuous integration strategy helps to avoid compatibility and interfacing problems and provides a smoke testing environment that helps to uncover errors early. Then let us go to the testing activity and terms. The unit tests that are created should be implemented using a framework that enables them to be automated. This encourages a regression testing strategy whenever code is modified. As the individual unit tests are organized into a universal testing suite, integration and validation testing of the system can occur on daily basis. This provides the XP team with a continual indication of progress and also can raise warning flags early if they go awry, that is, if they are going wrong or in the not intended way. Well states fixing small problems every few hours takes less time than fixing huge problems just before the deadline. So if the problems are fixed early, it will be easy. Then let us go to the XP acceptance test or customer test. XP acceptance test or customer tests are specified by the customer and focus on overall system features and functionality that are visible and reviewable by the customer. Acceptance tests are derived from user stories that have been implemented as a part of the software release. With this, we come to the end of this. If you like the video, press the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel Engineering and Technology for You. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notification for our future videos. Then thanks for watching. Have a nice day.